In this video, we are going to be talking about a couple things to be wary of when you're factoring trinomials. The first thing being, we might not even be able to get solutions. For example, let's see what happens with this one that we have. We know, with our rules, that there's no number up front, so all we have to do is find something, two factors of 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 4 and 3, 3 and 4. Two factors of 12 that multiply together to equal 12 but add up to equal 10. Well, 12 plus 1 isn't 10, 6 plus 2 isn't 10, and 3 plus 4 isn't 10. So we know that as of right now, we can't find a solution to this equation. We can't find factors that fit this polynomial. And why can't we find them? Well, it could be one of two cases. Either the real valued solutions are not rational. Remember, every solution that we found so far has been of the form a over b, where a and b are integers, which are rational numbers. Rational numbers. But we could just as easily have a solution that looks like this. 4 plus the square root of 6. Something with a square root. And remember, a square root with a number that is not a perfect square is irrational. And all of our factoring methods are only the ways to find rational solutions. So it's very possible that this equation doesn't have any rational solutions. Or it's possible that it has no real numbered solutions. When we're on our Cartesian plane, we know that this equation, parabolic, something that has a square, is parabolic. It looks like this. It looks like a big U. Or if it's negative, it looks like a big N. It's a big curvy thing that goes to infinity in one direction. So, easily, you could have a big U sitting above the x-axis. Because these solutions that we're finding, these factors that we're finding, are these points right here, the values of x such that the equation is 0. The values of x such that the equation is 0. Over here, there are no values of x where this equation touches y equals 0. There are no values on the x-axis where our parabola touches the x-axis. So we could either not have any rational solutions, or we could have no solutions. So when we have these, all we can do is say that we can't find a rational solution. Also, the other thing to note is this one is factorable, but it looks really challenging. My first step in the slide divide slide method would be to multiply this 12 by 27, which would not be fun. It would be a really big number, and then I would have to find two factors that add up to 36, and it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. But I notice that all three of these have a factor of 3. So I can factor in an easier way first. I can say this is equal to 3 times 12 divided by 3 is 4. X squared plus 36 divided by 3 is 12. X plus 27 divided by 3 is 9. Equals 0. And anything we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other. So if I divide this away by 3, I can divide this away by 3, and I'm left with 4x squared plus 12x plus 9 equals 0, which is a much easier polynomial to deal with. Now I can do the slide divide slide method. I can bring this 4 over here. I can make it x squared plus 12x plus 4 times 9 is going to be 36. I can find two factors of 36 that add up to equal 12. I can take 36 and do 1 and 36, not going to be 12. 2 and 18, not going to be 12. 3 and 12, not going to be 12. 4 and 9, not going to be 12. 5, 6, and 6. 6 and 6 are my solutions because 6 plus 6 is 12. So I get x plus 6 times x plus 6 equals 0. So the first thing that I should always check, the important moral of this lesson is the first thing I should always check is to make sure that the three of these are coprime, or that the three of these don't share any factors, because if they do, I should immediately pull that factor out to make my equation much easier to deal with. And Another moral of this story is what happens if I have two of the same factor. Well, if I have two of the same factor, then my answer is just x equals negative 6. Because if I solve the equations x plus 6 equals 0 and x plus 6 equals 0, I get one solution. And you might be thinking, I just said a minute ago that parabolas look like this. They either have two solutions or they have no solutions. But what is one with only one solution? How can this only touch the x-axis in one spot? It can be sitting on it. Say this is negative 6 right here. It can be sitting right on the x-axis where it touches only at the one point. And that is the important things to note. You should always try to factor your trinomial first before you factor it. You should always try to factor out any real numbers that you can. And sometimes, if you can't find a solution, it's because there is not one.